lot of times I get asked as an astrologer, what placements make a person beautiful? Well, that's a tricky question because beauty is in the eye of the beholder. One person might find someone really gorgeous and another one might find them just plain or hideous even. But there are patterns, and usually certain features are found to be certain beauty among certain cultures. And so can beauty really be pinpointed on the chart? It's debatable, but generally, if it would be found, this is how you would find it. So I would say that my answer, according to my philosophy, is that it's Pluto in Libra. So whenever you have someone that has Pluto in Libra, they have a certain type of striking beauty. It doesn't mean that someone's beautiful every moment of every day. We live in a world where pampering your skin and procedures or lifestyle or certain genetics or just certain features, there's a fine line sometimes between what you can buy and what you can afford and, how you can pamper something. But generally, a natural beauty, a striking beauty, when 9 times out of 10 you look at that face and you're like, whoa, there's something that draws me to look at that face. It's when a person has Pluto in Libra. Now you would think, well, wait, that's so weird. Pluto's the planet of change. How can that be? Or, oh, but isn't it with Venus? Because Venus is beauty. No, it really is what makes you different. Oh, but it would be the first house because, no, that would be the body, not the face. The houses matter a great deal. But in this particular case, it's Pluto in Libra, no matter what house. So I'll give you some examples. Beyonce Knowles, Angelina Jolie, Kim Kardashian. Need I say more? Now, let me give you a couple of examples of when someone is paid for their face, paid for their making money off of the image that comes from their face. Not necessarily making a living in cosmetics or beauty or enhancing the face, because that's going to be a very house-placed significator. But if you have Pluto in Cancer or even Pluto in Virgo, let's talk about Pluto in Virgo. Pluto in Virgo is when there's something about the figure or the body that is tied to, in other words, a type, not modeling itself, but it can incorporate a kind of modeling. But when Pluto is in Virgo, there's something tied to the face and the body and the image of the beauty that brings the person noticing or noticeable change or success. Like, for example, Anna Nicole Smith. She's got Pluto in Virgo. Now, let's take a look at icons. Icons that made a huge difference, not because they had striking beauty in their face, but they might as well have because their entire image was one package. And that would be Pluto in Cancer. Remember that Cancer is a household name. Remember that Cancer is where wealth was born. Wait, isn't that the second house and third? No, Cancer is where wealth was born. So when you're a household name, it is Cancer. Cancer is the one that holds the sign of the wealth. So having Pluto in Cancer, it's that your beauty made you different, made you an icon, and made you money. Like Marilyn Monroe and Elizabeth Taylor, and they had Pluto in Cancer. Now, you also you can't be cookie cutter mentality. You also understand that astrology is very complex. It's houses, it's placements, it's very fine details, it's minor aspects, it's major aspects. A lot has to be going on to look at the future of that person, to look at the trajectory of the path of the career. But when looking at beauty, in a two-dimensional plane, right? Looking at beauty for this placement, this identity. This is how I'm referring to it. Every person has a different chart. Every person has a different destiny. You have to really dissect it. You have to look at it with a magnifying glass. And that's what us astrologers do. We understand the language of the planets and what's going on with that person's story, legacy, or what have you, the future. But I'm introducing this subject when you're looking for the placements itself representative. So I hope you understand that in the right context is how I'm placing this information. All right. See you guys in the next video. Bye.